everybody. It's Barbara Threecrow. I'm here on peopleforpeople.ning.com. I'm live, and I'm here talking to you from Turtle Island, across the big waters. If you're on the other side, that's where I'm living, in the Hudson Valley here. Beautiful Hudson Valley, actually, along the Great Nanticoke, the river that flows both ways, and the Catskill Mountains. Living here at Owl Ridge, our 103 acres that Creator brought us to, it's like a paradise here. So every day I'm so grateful. And I'm happy to be here with you. It's nice to see everybody showing up. I'm going to be reading from my book, The Return of the Sacred Feminine and Teachings of the Grandmothers in Spirit. And this is about prophecy. The prophecy of our participation, like all of us, our participation in mending the hoop, and a lot of healing necessary in this time. And how are we going to mend the hoop? Well, we mend the hoop by healing ourselves and being in harmony and balance, and our participation in a good way. You know, there's a lot of other ways that we, that is necessary, of course, and important to know, but I'm going to start reading from my book, and this is The Practice of Telepathic Long-Distance Healing. Now, this information was given from me through guidance, spiritual guidance, and I'm sharing these things with you from my book and various things that Spirit has mentioned to me to share. And also part of this book is a complete disclosure, I would say, fairly complete disclosure of the things that have happened to me throughout my life up to today, my 76 years, that many would say are, we call it phenomenon or unexplained phenomenon or wacky doodle stuff, or things that make people back up from you. So, they're surprised or shocked. But why I was guided to write what's in this book is so that people who have similar experiences, so that they realize that they are not crazy, number one. And yes, these experiences that you have had are very real. You're not imagining it. You don't have to defend yourself. To me, anyway. And so just saying that. But it does put us in a position, and put me in a position, to be vulnerable to people's negativity and attacks upon me. And so that was a big leap for me, to follow Spirit's guidance, to write these things. Because, there will always be someone who wants to, there will always be the naysayers, or the doubters, or the ones who, who have a stretch, takes them a big stretch for them to move into a different reality, or acceptance, or let's say the frame of mind of there are a myriad of possibilities, and let's not limit ourselves. Okay, so telepathy is a practice of using one's extrasensory psychic abilities to communicate with others. Now, I do want to start off by saying that I believe that every one of us has the ability and that has these gifts. But if you doubt this, they will not come to you. If you don't believe in this or doubt this, yes, you're going to block any type of connectedness or communication with the ancestors, let's say, or a spirit of light that wants to communicate with you. Okay, so this is a practice, and the word practice is very important. It is important always to ask permission when using telepathy to achieve long-distance healing, and if possible, to alert the person that you want to send healing energy to. Respecting another's space and free will is important. It is important also to acknowledge and to work from the knowledge that healing occurs according to a divine plan, and to proceed with an intention to send energy with that awareness. In other words, There is another frequency. There's a source. I am a conduit, I guess you'd say. I am not the healer. It's sort of like we have a term, a hollow bone, or you could use the word a vessel or a clear vessel. Okay, so you have to put yourself in a state or a frame of mind to actually allow this to happen. So it is not through our will that others experience healing, but the personal choice and free will of those who are ill to either receive or not. The psychic healer is a conduit, a channel, and if in right relation to source, will have the ability to activate healing through proper channels by aligning themselves with and becoming one with a higher source, knowing that all things occur according to the divine plan. And always it is important to begin with a clear intention for the highest good of the person who is ill. To be a vessel for healing energy, it is crucial that you have trust and faith and the ability to hold a clear intention for what is to be achieved. As well, it is important to let go of personal need and any final results. In other words, put your ego aside. If you're going to be a channel or a conduit for divine frequency, your ego cannot be involved because that will just block. That will just block, and you will not have any results. And things will be muddy. To create an atmosphere for focused healing, you could light a candle or burn sage or sweetgrass. The idea is to enter into a state of calm, free of ego and outside influence through the method that works best for you. Through communication and prayer, state clearly your intention. Request that you become a clear vessel for divine healing energy. The person's name could be spoken out loud, or if you have a photo, place that where you can see it clearly. Make a statement that divine healing energy, harmony, and balance will be received by the subject according to divine plan. As you close your eyes, put yourself in a relaxed, calm frame of mind, using deep breathing to center yourself. Now, this is a process where you begin inhaling slowly and evenly, and continuing this, you hold a focus on the breath as it enters into you and then as it is slowly released. So it's a process of watching and feeling your breath moving in and out and in and out. And that what that does is that brings a whole focus, totally shuts down the ego and any outside influences, because you are now becoming one with your breath. When you feel that you have reached the still point or a state of quiet and calm, begin to visualize the person in the field or space before you. And it's best, I think, to do this with your eyes closed, or you can, if you're an adept, keep your eyes open. And certainly if you have a photograph, just hold your focus on that person in that photo. You begin to draw down the loving light from the divine source as you continue to inhale and breathe. You let it flow into your own crown chakra. Now that is the point on the very top of the head, if you're not familiar with the chakra points. Then you visualize yourself completely filled with this light. So you are, through your breath, using the breath, drawing down this light from divine source, and you are just filling yourself up like you are a vessel and filled up with water, except that you are using the imagery and sense of light. Use the next 4 breaths to focus directly then upon your heart. And with each inhalation, begin to draw the light into your heart until that also is completely filled. So you will feel a sensation, and you may even see light or feel this energy in your body. And when you exhale, it's important to hold the light that is focused within your heart, letting it become fuller and stronger and more full. So then with each exhalation, and you are bringing in the light, you are building it in the heart center, and don't let it go when you exhale, but hold it in the heart when you do exhale. Continuing the count, and when you have completely filled yourself and your heart with light, take the next 4 breaths and allow the light to expand from your heart outward with each exhalation. So at this point, this is when you use the breath, exhaling the breath to release the light. Okay, so you are exhaling the light as a powerful beacon, directing it toward the person that you are working with. When you see or sense the person has received and is filled with the light, visualize them now completely surrounded with the loving light as well. Now, if you sense any resistance, view the energy surrounding and within the person. Make sure to notice if this resistance is, if there's a heaviness or a dark place within their body, or that might be surrounding their energy field. Now, this may indicate an energy blocking their ability to receive. If this is the case, immediately begin again by repeating the method described above. In other words, go back and work again with the same method, and then direct that light from your heart as a forceful beacon toward that person and fill them up and surround them. So with this new attempt, create your intention as sending an even more powerful healing light, specifically placing your focus on the areas where you did view any resistance. Now, when using psychic tools to see the energy of a person, you are activating your sensory skills. Now, I've said this so many times, and I cannot emphasize this enough. This is not a thinking process. It's not intellectualizing. It's not thinking. It is a combination of feelings, which is clairsentient, and visuals, which is clairvoyant or second sight. When you see in this manner, it has a similar effect that when your eyes are half closed and visually what is before you appears out of focus. When viewing a person in this manner, either their energy will be harmonious and serene or out of balance. For instance, a dark area. Or you may experience a sense of imbalance, and this will determine your healing procedure. If a person is healthy, their aura would be viewed as clear and evenly surrounding them. But your clairsentient experience would be calming and serene. In other words, you would feel within your own self a calmness. You would feel serene because that person before you is calm and in harmony. That's what clairsentient is. Clairsentient, remember, I read about what clairsentient was last week. It's when you feel within your own body what another person is experiencing, like an imbalance or an illness or a pain. That's clairsentient. In other words, as a clairsentient, your sensations and your feelings would mirror the person before you. And you know, the thing is when you get a sensation or a feeling or even a pain, if you're around persons or people or even working with them, you need to discern. So you need to discern energetically. Is this my pain? Am I having a pain right now in my heart or in my throat? Am I having this blocked feeling in my throat? Or is this the person before me? Are they experiencing this? So you have to ask that and discern that, no, this is not mine. This is that person's. And it is mirroring within me. And it helps us to know. And sometimes when that happens, I say to the person, are you feeling something right now in your throat? Or what's going on right now in this area over here? And they basically pretty much always say, oh yeah, right now my throat is tightening up and I feel like I'm going to choke. So that validates your clairsentient experience, okay? And then you're better able to help that person. So Upon realizing something out of balance, it is important to question a higher source. And that's the other thing when I say that's the discernment tool, is to ask a higher source. Is this mine? What is this? And how to be open to spiritual guidance concerning then how to proceed. Asking for help to discern what the issue might be. And this is an experience that I had a while back. It was during an earth healing visualization. I had experienced some difficulty in a specific area that I was focusing on. My intention was to clear the earth of a negative event. I physically viewed, or remote viewing it is called today, an area, psychically viewed rather, which is called remote viewing today, an area where the energy seemed very dark, very heavy, and very resistant. Some place on the earth that I was working with. I determined to envision a giant net surrounding this energy, and this net would sift through the negativity and capture it, lifting it away from the earth. But I was having difficulty. It was becoming increasingly difficult. So I was unable to completely pull the net free through this dark place on the earth. And then suddenly, an angel appeared, and she began helping me to lift the now overburdened net that was filled with great darkness. And together we completed the task. Now, we can use long-distance healing for individual problems or to clear places of trauma upon the earth. So that experience was very powerful and very interesting. I didn't particularly call upon anyone else, but I was struggling, and I guess my intention to do some healing work for the whole, for the good of the whole, that this angel responded to help me out. So what is manifesting and luring? I'm going to talk about that now. So, and here's a quote. All that we seek is seeking us. So do you believe that it is possible that abundance, health, and peace and happiness already exist? If we truly understand creation and we believe in a divine creator or an omniscient other, the belief that all that we would ever need has already been created could very well be the answer to hopelessness and even despair. With the original creation, everything that we ever needed or might dream of was deliberated upon by an omniscient intelligence that would benefit all children of the earth. There would be no need for longing, for lack of necessities, or even to be deprived of what would be for our highest good. With understanding of the system of reciprocity and the original agreement of our stewardship of the gift given us and the balance that humans would be responsible for maintaining, there would be everything available for everyone. In other words, all that we would need to live joyously and abundantly. And unfortunately, the original agreement of stewardship has been lost, and throughout time has been replaced with the incursion of manifest destiny, organized religion, and the corporate ideology. The tools of manifesting and luring have been used successfully throughout time for the purpose of realizing goals, receiving guidance for one's highest good. The process of manifesting is preceded by having a clear intention. Specifically, manifesting is enhanced by our holding a focus upon a particular goal. Remember the unknown power that thought and our intentions have, and how this enables us to affect and actually move physical mass. And everything is energy, so everything, even though we think it's a mass or heavy or dense, actually is a frequency or an energy and has trillions of molecules. So we are each capable of becoming a channel. and are able to receive guidance from a spiritual source, and also to use the tools of visualization and affirmation techniques. Now, these tools have been utilized throughout history. Shamans and psychics, medicine people have employed these methods to send their requests to the universe and those benevolent beings, helpers, and guides. So it is crucial to the success of manifesting and luring that we visualize a strong and precise end result, void of any doubt. And once this is achieved, we can begin the art of luring, or to manifest, by visualizing exactly what we desire. Focusing your intention and creating an exact and clear vision, as though you were painting a picture, and having a heightened awareness of all that already exists within the vision of the divine creation, and that is held within your personal visualization. This is crucial to having success. What I said here was having a heightened awareness. In other words, this knowledge and inner knowing of all that already exists within the vision of the divine creation. So, okay. We have heard stories where a parent or a spouse is suddenly overcome with images or thoughts of a loved one in distress, and later on their premonition is proven. Random occurrences such as sudden illness or even an accident can be broadcast energetically over long distances. Now, these telepathic messages are often received by a loved one far away from the actual incident. Now, this can shed some light on the hidden abilities that we each have. Imagine, then, how the art of having conscious intention is significant and effective in all matters. There is a power within words, a power within our emotions and thoughts, and how we use these tools is crucial and can make all the difference in our success as to what we manifest in our lives. Spirit communication comes through to us in many forms. It is crucial for your success to be aware of particular feelings, for instance, like feeling unease or queasiness, or a sensation of tingling in the hands, heaviness, energetic sensations, or other obvious signs. To be alert to thoughts that are bothersome or persistent. These could be Spirit's way of attempting to get your attention. Never think consciously. In other words, don't push it. Instead, allow your focus to expand without conscious egoistic thoughts or attachment to an outcome when opening to receive guidance. Use meditation or prayers regularly to manifest this guidance by quieting your mind and allowing any psychic messages to come through freely. This is opening yourself to the divine flow. You might experience your hands tingling or heating up, or a sensation of density or slight pressure in your third eye. Or you may perceive audibly a high-pitched ringing sound. Now, focusing your desire, using meditation and visualization methods are methods of achieving success. Now, I'm going to tell you an interesting story of one of my personal experiences here and how I dealt with, a psychic experience or a clairsentient experiences and feeling spirit around me. And so this was many years ago. I began to notice a distinct heavy pressure on my left side. Now, it was really almost as though, when somebody stands there and puts their both hands on you and pulls on you, or pulls your shirt to get your attention, or pulls on you. That's what this was like. Of course, there was no one visible, but this was really, very strong and very bothersome, and it went on, and I was really kind of trying to shake it off. Being busy and preoccupied, I didn't act on it right away. But I thought then after a time, okay, it must be a spirit attempting to get my attention. It did become quite annoying, and of being pulled at, or over time I had no other choice then but to find out what this spirit wanted. And to do that, I quieted my mind and asked the internal guide for information. I soon came to the realization that it was my grandmother, one of my grandmothers, who had been trying to contact me. So this grandmother, I recalled how angry and unkind she was, how I had not felt much love for her, but my memories of her had been quite negative, and whenever I would speak of her, I was not very kind, and I often expressed my dislike of her. And as I grew older, I discovered that my grandmother had experienced a hard life, which most likely had caused her unhappiness, and also had prompted an inability to be kind and loving toward her grandchildren. When I began to sense her nagging presence, I soon realized that her spirit was unsettled and that a healing between us was needed. You know, when we hold on to negative memories of someone who has crossed over, this creates a magnetic force, and instead of their being released from this plane, they remain tethered here to the earth plane, unable to be at peace. In other words, our attitude toward them, our words, our thoughts, and our memories, the way we speak, is actually a frequency and energy that tethers them here. So I prepared myself for a ceremony of forgiveness and to speak to her spirit. I told her in this ceremony and through this prayer that I forgave her and that I loved her. And I soon felt a dramatic shift, pretty much immediately actually, and I knew that we had finally both been released. When attempting to manifest healing energy for the purpose of hands-on healing, now in the old way we called it hands-on healing, okay, now it's people have different terms for some of these practices. You have to get a license. You have to go through different classes and get a license to use your natural healing ability. I mean, I'm just saying, we have this ability. Many people have this ability. But now you go to Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3, to actually be taught how to use the gift you already have. I'm just saying. So we call it hands-on healing. It's natural. Now, it is essential that we have a clear intention. Again, we have to keep thinking clear intention, and that we attain the state of becoming one with a divine source. As I said, I'm only a conduit, a channel, as everyone else. If someone says, oh, I healed that person, or I healed someone, well, to me, that's pretty arrogant, and it's not really real. It's like, it is the divine, the creator, the great source, the omniscience that heals. And also, it's if the person wants to be healed. Everyone has free will. So we can become a conduit for the flow of divine love, or we can receive a telepathic information that clarifies certain issues, such as a disease or disharmony in the body, the mind, or the spirit of those who are attempting to heal. It just brought to mind, I had an extraordinary experience years ago. I had forgotten about that until this moment. I had, in my childhood, a friend, John. He lived nearby, he lived in the neighborhood, and we were very close. We went through high school together, and even after he got married, I got married, and we kept in touch. And we just had this kind of special relationship. We both had the same sense of humor, where we would just kind of like roll on the floor laughing with tears coming out of our eyes, and other people just didn't understand what was going on. So we had that relationship, and I hadn't seen him in quite a few years, and I went to visit him. And when he came out of the house, we were standing there talking, and suddenly I felt this surge of love fill my body. And in that moment, when I felt this surge of love, I reached out to him and just touched his face, just lightly just touched his face. And he jumped back and he touched his face and he said, "Oh my God," he said, I just felt this love hit me," he said. And that kind of surprised me too, but I thought, wow, that's the power of love. I mean, I wasn't thinking I love this person. I was filled with love for this person. And he felt it. When I touched him, he felt the surge. It's a power, it's a frequency. And that's like a hands-on healing experience. That's how we heal, with someone touching us with that love. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that, because that was really an amazing situation. So as the conduit for the divine flow of love, right? So what we are doing is we are in an enlightened perspective. We're having a clear intention to link ourselves completely with this divine flow. So ego is put aside, allows us to manifest healing vibrations that can be directed properly and effectively. When using the method of hands-on healing, our hands might tingle, they might heat up, they might vibrate. And when opening to channeled information and allowing ourselves to be guided by intuitive sensing, we are placing ourselves in the position to act as a link with the healing vibrations from Source and to manifest that which is needed for that person who's ill. This is all according to the divine plan. It's not my plan. I just have, I guess, caring and love and, want to help. So the healer that is guided by spirit can directly either touch a person, must understand the difference between, on the one hand, ego, self-determination, and commanding or demanding a particular result or response, and attuning themselves to align with a natural flow of spiritual energies. And when knowing to put aside their preconceived ideas and to seek only that which is for another's highest good. Clairvoyant abilities can develop through practicing with various items. Have someone bring jewelry or photographs, and without looking at the pictures, hold them in your hands and center yourself and begin to feel any strong or particular sensations, any shapes, or even psychic messages. So again, you have to put your ego, push out the ego, push out preconceived any strong or particular sensations. I don't know what just happened, but I just heard this strange beeping. Okay, I hope I'm still on. Ask to be placed within the light. Ask for guidance from higher source and align yourself with the divine flow. Your intention is to receive all truths and all goodness to be present. This is very important. We have to be conscious and take responsibility about what our intention is, and to protect ourselves and to also protect others is to receive all truths and all goodness to be present. Feel the essence of the subject or object, and then open and allow feelings and sensations to come. Allow yourself to be open to all possibilities and relate immediately what you perceive. Now, this is a practice where mistakes often occur before you become adept. And that's perfectly fine. You're going to make mistakes. This is a practice to become an adept. So, spiritual guidance derives from our ability to link with guides or spirits. When we engage the spirit of a tree, for instance, we are practicing spiritual consciousness or spiritual awareness. Through the practice of communion with guides and connecting with the presence of a living spirit within all things, we become consciously spiritual. So in this instance, the source of knowledge will come from the tree spirit. It is essential that we respect all entities. Therefore, when approaching a tree spirit, for instance, always greet the spirit with gratitude and then state your intentions. I mean, giving gratitude is a key part of this. You may receive guidance through auditory perception, through smell, physical sensations, or visual images. We also have our own inner guide, where we receive through a sense of immediate and precise knowledge. It's like an immediate response. That's your inner guide. Now, this is receiving knowledge without doubt. In other words, it's not a long process of, let me look at this. Is that it? Is this it? Maybe that's it. Is this what it is? No. Or confusion or doubt. So this is receiving knowledge as an immediate and precise knowledge that comes like a snap of a finger. That's inner guidance. So it is without doubt, since the psychic content is experienced by our perfecting alignment with divine source. That is how psychic content and spiritual guidance and source information comes, by our perfecting our alignment. In other words, by not thinking, by not mulling over something, but having a deep, sure sense of openness and alignment to the spiritual truth. It takes practice to learn how to discern spiritual guidance from divine source. Just because you're getting guidance does not mean it's factual. Okay, because sometimes our ego gets in the way, our monkey mind steps in and can, mess things up. It can confuse us. But if you're not sure, yes, use your discernment. Again, it's an energy. Is this of the light? That's a different energy. Is this not of the light? That's an entirely different energy. You feel it. You might even see it. You have a sensation. Pay attention to all these things. Everything I have described and noted in this moment is about sensory perceptions, not thinking. So spiritual guidance from divine source and psychic alignment as compared to our dependence on our will, our own will, or the voice of ego. So, spirit is naturally around us and is aware of our needs. But I have to say that spirit and the helpers or allies cannot interfere on their own with us. If we need to communicate or need help or guidance, we must broach that. We must enter into that relationship ourselves. Free will. We are sovereign. Yet it is up to us to align with and be open and in right relation to spiritual guidance. It is important to take proper steps in order to receive clarity. In the mysterious realm of spirit, time does not exist as we know it. Also, spirit already knows what it is that we are seeking. Therefore, we will receive answers immediately. That's why I said earlier, it's not a long, drawn-out, ho-hum, waiting, like looking at your watch for an answer. Not that when you're involved with true source, it is immediate. Immediate. So our understanding of messages received will depend on our ability to be centered, alert, open, and also specifically knowing what spiritual guidance actually is, what it feels like, how it comes through. Most often, the usual habit that people have is to question or doubt that the answer could be true. In other words, we say, well, that really can't be true. Well, so you get an answer, you ask source, you get an answer, and then you deny it or negate it. Well, check again. Go again back, but using more of your sensory tools rather than ego or doubt, which is ego. Sense or feel the answer that you get. Again, positive light, truth has a different frequency, a different energy, a different sensation as the opposite also. So, not to say that we should not question, of course. While doubt most often gets in the way of opening to channel, questioning from one's center does assist us to discern the truth. Success in aligning with true guidance is realized by letting expectations go, by using the breath to quiet the mind and moving into the experience of nothingness, like a void. Moving into nothingness, no interference, and opening ourselves to receive the spiritual guidance. That's your intention. My intention. We have to speak our intention. And we have to speak our intention to be open to the guidance of truth, spiritual guidance, and be surrounded and protected by the light. Because there are all kinds of things flying around out there looking to connect or attach itself to people. So I guess I'm saying, just don't be foolish and vulnerable and say, well, I'm gonna go sit with the Ouija board now, or I'm gonna go call in something. You have to really be clear and in your own power, and not be wavering with this knowledge or truth or doubt. Or don't leave yourself vulnerable to whatever is out there, because there are many things that are out there. So you have to make your intention clear to the universe. And when you speak to the universe responds in kind. Success in aligning with true guidance is realized by letting our expectations go. We might not be ready to hear the truth, then we will surely disregard Spirit's guidance if we're not ready. Always it is important to consciously hold our intention to align with those of the highest light, asking for help and guidance from those beings that are aligned with the sacred. It is a daily practice to learn to be open and to realize when we are indeed receiving clear channeling or clear guidance. We are often unsuspecting and vulnerable to negative vibrations or thoughts, those of others, as well as even our own. So we have to be alert and refrain from sending or receiving negative thoughts to others through fear, doubt, envy, jealousy, anger. Being aware of the power of thought, words, and emotion is essential, right? When gathering together with others to take part in ceremony, we sometimes are given a sign from Spirit. And this does happen. And maybe you've had some of these experiences, that these little signs, and you may not be coming together in a ceremony, but you may be kind of like open or out in nature. And so you might receive kind of like a sign. So this particular situation was proven the way Spirit will often give us a sign. Well, several people and myself were gathered. We were going to build an inipi, which is a purification lodge. Some people call it a sweat lodge. In our tradition, a Lakota tradition, it is called an inipi, or purification lodge. So we had just finished, and we stood back to view the lodge when a bald eagle appeared and circled over us several times. And I called out with gratitude, "Oh, Mitakuyo Yasin," meaning, "Oh, you are one of our relatives." Then I offered tobacco in gratitude that Wambli, the eagle, had shown itself to us. And there were other times. We were also, during the winter, we were taking part in a ceremony, and it was bitter cold with sleet, and snow was falling, but we lit our sacred fire anyway. And as we stood near the fire trying to keep warm, a red-tailed hawk suddenly swooped out of the woods, flew right over the fire, and then over the lodge, and continued to fly low, passed right over our teepee that we had set up. Now, this was unusual for any of the winged ones, the flyers, to be out in this very severe weather. Usually they hunker down, but I kind of felt that this was another message that, the Great Spirit sent this little hawk to tell us, oh, you guys, you're doing good. You lit the fire, the sacred fire, and I know you're going to pray for all creation and for health and help. So, yeah. So, I have the chapter 20 that is coming up, and it's called Star Woman Opened the Doorway. And this involves a personal experience that I had that I want to share, but I think I'm going to hold off until next week to start this new chapter, 20, Star Woman Opened the Doorway. And yeah, I think I'm going to wait till next Tuesday, but right now I want to pop in and see everybody who's here. Hey, oh, Angeline, Anjamis, Duncan, Grizz, Neil, hey, and Stone. Yes, let's not forget Stone's show is coming up, Stone Hobbit. Stay tuned for that. Always an awesome show. Hey, Tracy, Huge, and Van, of course, and my brother, Gas. So, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say here and what I was sharing with you. And I'm hoping that, I don't know if you have any questions about what I was talking about, or if you did, tune in to what I was talking about. Yes. Yay. You did get a mention. Thank you. Yeah, I so appreciate everybody being here. Like I said, when I was asked to write this book, I was told pretty much to throw all other books out. Don't read anything. Don't watch TV. Kill your TV. Don't paint, because I'm an artist. So I had to stop all of that so I could focus on receiving the information and guidance and downloads of these things. And like I said before, the intention mostly was to share some of the phenomenon and unusual things in my life that I had kept secret. Pretty much I learned to keep these things secret because I learned very early how people fear this, number one, and certainly because they do fear these things, they have great doubt, and they will attack you. They will attack you for speaking your own truth. And I guess I learned very early, don't talk about these things to people. But then there came a time, I guess, when Spirit said, no, people need to know your experiences because they've had the same experiences. You guys, I know, have had similar experiences. I know you have. And I'm pretty sure you have. So I'm sharing my story so that we all know we're not crazy. Just saying. Oh, yeah. Oh, Stone, okay. Are you saying you might not be coming up? I don't know. Okay. And, yeah. Oh, thank you, Neo. It was great dealing with entities. It's like trying to meditate while something is yanking your chain. That's for sure. Yes. Okay, Stone is live next. If her connection holds firm, okay, you girl, hold that connection. I know you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to give over this mic and this time here coming up. So I appreciate everyone showing up. Thank you so much for being here. It's really great to see you all. And stay tuned for Stone. And I'll see you, I'll see you next week. Maybe I'll see you on the round table Thursday. That would be really great. And yeah, so Doksha, Pilamaya.